What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Cigars and Everything Else podcast. We are in episode 63, or should I say season 2, episode 13, man.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah,
season 2, baby.
Yeah, man, yeah. Hey, matter of fact, while we playing around, man, you know, them numbers get rough in them 60s, man. You know, we ain't quite got into them football numbers, right? We might need to mess around and drop back to season 2 and then go 13 and pick another person.
I mean, like, because we could do that, because you can do 2 with, who was number 2? Dana Barrows? or you could do 2, Baron Davis. Baron Davis number 2, right? Or something like that. So, like, if we go back, we can alternate. Oh, he was 1? I thought he was 2. I can't remember.
Grandmama.
But Grandmama, Larry Johnson. Boom, there you go.
We weren't doing it back then anyway. So
we weren't.
People missed they number, you know.
Yeah, we miss the answer. We miss a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We missed some number 1s, Chauncey Billups. We missed Chauncey Billups. Come on now.
Yeah. Chauncey Billups.
I'm sure you can pick a better number 1, huh?
Penny. Shoot. Penny.
But getting in the 60s is kind of your teammate. There you go.
Bogues. Shoot, anybody.
Come on now, get it to me.
Yeah. But anyway, man, did you have a number 63 or do we need to move on?
Man, we need to move on. I had some names like, no, I'm not going to act like there weren't any, like when I had 60, I think 60 or 61 came up and I couldn't find anybody. I had some names, but even going through the names, it was some guy from the NHL, a couple Major League Baseball players too, and a handful of football players, but none of them like really stuck out to me. And if I'm offending any of y'all who are number 63 in any one of those sports, my bad. I don't know.
Hey, we can give it to whoever it was in hockey before we give it to whoever it was in baseball.
What about the football? It was some throwback guy from like the 70s or 80s. You know what I'm saying? He was probably like 22, but he looked every bit of 55.
Oh yeah, he was one of them guys.
Yeah, he was one of them man's men.
Football take precedence anyway. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, we're gonna go with But I always have like a fondness of 90s hockey. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't study it like that, but I do got a little fond spot for it.
You know what? I mean, like, while you're there for a second, you are right about that. I was in this class last week, and we were talking sports, and one guy was like, I don't watch football or basketball. I'm a hockey player. And I could relate to him a little bit. I'm a Red Wings guy. You know what I'm saying? Detroit all the way. But just linking into the 90s, I was able to rattle off a bunch of 90s players and relate to this guy because, hey, them 90s players from the Wayne Gretzky's to the Fedorovs to, you know what I'm saying, Mario Lemieux and all that whatnot, Osgood, I knew about it because the 90s hockey, I could liken to it.
It was entertaining a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
It was.
It didn't hold my attention probably because we didn't play it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Didn't quite hold my attention to watch it on into the 2000s, but the 90s, it held my attention for a little bit.
Hey, did you ever play street hockey?
Nah.
You never played street hockey? That is something that did kind of like draw me to it. I don't see kids playing street hockey anymore, but growing up on my street,
put your little skates on and y'all go out there and
nah, we didn't have the skates on. We just be running around with the little hockey sticks. We got the little goals, or we'll set up like some little cones and say this is the goal, and we're running around with the little plastic hockey sticks and like a tennis ball or something like that.
That's how I feel,
up
like
down the street.
Ball or something. Yeah.
Hey, but we was getting that hockey mindset in back then, even in the 90s.
I had the plastic hockey set too, though. You know what I'm saying? While you
there you go.
I didn't even remember that until you just said it, but I did have it myself. Hockey lost us somewhere along those lines, but hockey had us, man. They just didn't. I don't think they cared about that demographic, man. But they had us for a little bit, man.
Yeah,
they came and took it over if they'd have gave us a chance to get on ice.
That could be why. Like, man, these folks over here liking this sport a little bit too much. Let me reel this back in. We can't let them have this one. You know what I'm saying? You got a bunch of LeBron James skating up and down the ice by now. You don't want that. Man. You don't want a bunch of LeBron James and a bunch of J.R. Smiths. That's the one. The J.R. Smith of hockey. Imagine that one.
Yeah, man. He'd be athletic though. You know, I ain't gonna play. I ain't gonna even sit around and act like he wouldn't be. He'd be making mistakes, keeping athletic.
Some spectacular plays. You can see his spin moves, all kind of craziness going on. Different crossovers with the hockey puck.
Bro, real quick, man. Now that you bring that man up, J.R. Smith get a bad rap for the latter part of his career. Dude was raw in the beginning, though. You know what I'm saying? The first half, he was an athletic beast. You know what I'm saying? He was never nobody's star, but you know what I'm saying? He was a name.
But he could have, in the right system, he could have been. In the right system,
he was on that line
mindset, he could have been.
Yeah.
He could have been. He was that. He was that. So
yeah,
much props to him. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, he gets a bad rap for how he finished his career. A lot of things that happened in some key moments that may or may not have been his fault. That's a debate for another day.
Hey, bro. And speaking of that, I seen a clip today actually talking about how something may or may not have been his fault. Well, it's talked about how a lot of history was rewritten to favor somebody to make them look a little bit better than what they could have looked. You know what I'm saying? Like that one that was rewritten for him. Like there's a couple of them that got
some legacy tainting moments. And hey, we got to have a fall guy. This is an easy fall guy.
Yeah.
Play on optics. We got to play on optics. That's what it looks like. That's the fall guy now. Yeah.
Now don't get me wrong. Hey man, he's still as great as we say, you know what I'm saying? And he still deals with a hell of a lot of criticism. But he had a few more moments he dodged, you know what I'm saying? And I think the media was in on helping him dodge a few of them bullets. Right?
Hey, money talks. And I'm pretty sure somebody paid.
Hey man, when that's the face of your league, you gotta protect them somewhat.
Yeah, for sure.
He can't be entirely under the bus.
Yeah,
we still gotta have somebody representing this league. Like, you know what I'm saying? Hey man, lighten up on homie, man. He's still all we got right now. Like,
especially in that moment, you might have had Steph Curry. But in that moment, he still was the guy. So you still had to make sure that he was protected in a sense.
Okay,
because that was post Kobe, right? Kobe had passed recently, right? Around that same time.
But get this,
they needed him.
Even though he may not be the guy as far as the top producing player in the league, and forget it, we talking in code. You know we talking about LeBron. If y'all follow along, man. Don't make me spell it out for y'all, man. It's LeBron we talking about. Anyway, at this point in time in his career, even if LeBron wasn't the top producing player in the league at the time, guess what he was? He still was the biggest name in the league, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Star power.
Probably the biggest attraction in the league for sure.
Yeah. So regardless of, because he won't ever the top guy in the league for about that long. You know what I'm saying? So even
in that, it's still debatable.
Yeah. But with that being said, he still was the biggest name recognition. You know what I'm saying? Like there is no name in the league, even now, bigger than his name. You know what I'm saying? If you say LeBron James in China, they know who you're talking about. There's some players that they may or may not know. You know what I'm saying? There's your top guys in the league right now. Steph Curry,
they're gonna know Bron.
15 greatest. He might not be known worldwide. I get the feeling he's not. I don't know for sure. I didn't do the poll. You know what I'm saying? But if I had to guess, he still ain't got Bron recognition. You know what I mean?
That's true. So protect the player, and then that rewrites history. Some people get dialed back way further than what they deserve. And you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the rich get richer and the poor get poor. You know what I'm saying? You're not in that position to be over that hump, so you might get a little bit of blowback, a little bit of kickback, and get pushed down the line of history a little bit more than what you should have. What should be fair to you? But still, here we are. But hey, man, ready to get to the start of the show?
Let's get to it, man. I'm gonna go first because guess what? I have a star of the show who was also a recurring member of our show now because he starred in a ghost episode that you guys will never see from 2 episodes back.
Facepalm.
Yeah. So with that being said, they come right back to make another appearance all by accident. Didn't realize it. I'll give you the backstory after I introduce it. Monte Cristo Espada limited edition signature. Boom. I tried it anyway. It don't work. Anyway, so this cigar here is, as D would have told you 2 episodes ago, if you ever get to hear it, which you won't, that this cigar is partnered with Monte Cristo and Plasencia. They did a collaboration, and this cigar is that. I'll give you my review of it this week, and this will be the only review you ever hear. So I hope you guys look forward to that.
And for those that don't know, I have a special interest in this cigar because when I smoked the cigar, it wasn't what I was hoping that it would be, and I blamed it pretty much on the way the cigar was kept in the place that I purchased it from. So I'm curious to see where the cigar goes because I've had an experience with it, and it wasn't what I was hoping, but I can feel like it could have met me where I wanted to meet me. So I'm interested to see where it's going to go with you. So I'm glad you went with that stick, honestly, even though it wasn't. It was a mistake. No, a mistake, but you know what I'm saying? It wasn't planned or anything like that. Mistake.
But it was a mistake. Still, I went to my shop that I actually like. And so this one should be in good condition to touch on the point of yours being in bad condition when you had yours. But I went in there and my eye just got drawn to this Monte Cristo. I didn't have no intention of buying it. It is
a catcher though.
It grabbed my attention. I said, if this cigar shop doesn't let you touch it. So I tell my concierge, hey, grab that for me there, boy. And then he grabbed the stick. I didn't talk to him like that. But I tell him to get the stick for me. And he's like, oh, yeah, this one. Because I had got a Plasencia. I got the green band. You know what I'm saying? So I got that earlier as soon as I came in. And then I told him, grab me this Monte Cristo. He said, hey, man, you know, this is actually a collaboration with Plasencia. I said, oh, it is? He said, yeah, all 3 of these are. And he pointed to them. They were all side by side. Man. And then I went into a panic at that point in time. And I said, which one is it? Which one? I said, he smoked one of these. Which one is it? Like, I go into a panic, and I'm looking, and I'm trying to remember. And I'm like, I think his band was a nicer looking band than these other 2. I mean, than this one that I got. Like, all right, I'm going to stick with the plain band one. In reality, I should have went and got one of the more complex bands because that would have been the one that you didn't have. But I
did smoke, yeah.
I just didn't remember your band at the time. And your band, this looks nothing like the other 2. So I wish I'd have got the other 2. I still probably will get the other 2 at some point.
Right. But like I said, there's still value in you smoking a stick because I don't feel like it got a fair shot anyway. So this might be the most fairest opportunity that we have to get a decent review on it. So here we are.
Yeah. And it also says that it's of Nicaraguan origin and Nicaraguan bind or Nicaraguan filler. And my stick was $17.10. And it says it was handmade in Nicaragua. So hopefully this is actually a handmade cigar. I like that.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, look, man. So I have an interesting one. Not necessarily about the name or the cigar brand or any tips and tricks of the particular, makings of the tobacco itself. But I have an interesting shape. I don't know if you can see this right here.
That triangular?
It's rounded. It's rounded. Flat. It's pressed, but rounded in like an oval shape, like the shape of your mouth, I guess.
Yeah.
I was not able to find out what the name of the shape was. The person in the cigar shop couldn't give me any answer on it. But I have never seen a cigar with this shape, and I always like an interesting shaped cigar. We've tried a bunch of. We've tried the octagon shaped Plasencias. We tried, of course, box press. What's some other ones that we've had? We when we see them, we try them. So this is definitely one I saw, and I'm like, you know what? I have to give this shape a shot and see what does it do to the smoking experience. It's a Casa Magna D Magnus 2 Limitada. So it's a Casada. So it's limited. It's like a limited edition type of cigar, Limitada. Give you some run through of it. Nicaraguan wrapper, Nicaraguan origin, binder and filler, all Nicaraguan, right? So I wish I can give you some more information on like why they chose to go with this particular shape. What does this shape have? Like, what kind of benefits does it give you in your smoking experience? I mean, granted, I'm going to find out eventually as we smoke it, what it does for me, whether it's a benefit or a hindrance or whatever. But I'm really interested to see how this affects the smoke. It's pretty cool.
Hey man, go ahead and do like a V cut on it or a punch. Do something stupid that don't belong.
That's all I got on me. I got a V cut, man. So I'm gonna go with a V cut, but I think I'm gonna have to cut this bad boy sideways or something like that. I was sizing up like I'm gonna cut this. Like I can't cut it this way, can I? I gotta cut it sideways. So we're gonna see if it's gonna be weird or if it's gonna be actually a dope experience. I think one of my favorite cigar shapes and sizes and gauges that we smoked was the long one. What was that one called? The
long thin one.
Yeah, the long thin one that we smoked. I can't remember what it was called. Man,
I think I called it the wrong name, and then you called it what it was. Is that what we talking about? Yep.
I can't remember right now. I feel bad.
I can't remember.
Cigar aficionados, come on, guys. But we found that to be a benefit to the smoke. Like, it was a really nice smoking experience, and I would have never thought that that it would have enhanced my experience for the smoke to that degree. So I'm hoping this does the same.
Hey man, let's get into it, man. I'm taking this band off. Let's get to work, man. I went with a straight cut. I got 3 matches, so it's gonna be like that. I have to be on point.
You better get it. You better get it right. Mm-hmm. Pressure is on.
Yeah.
Hey, you got anything particular that you
Nope.
Anything particular that you're pairing it with?
No.
Nothing?
No.
There we go. There's your cut right there. I wanted a coffee today. Ain't gonna lie, like a cold brew or something like that. So
that cut may be perfection, actually. Not that you did a good job, but I'm just saying, like, how it's gonna actually benefit you, man. You know?
Yeah. We're gonna try this. This is interesting.
And you did do a good job considering your circumstances. There was a lot of pressure in that cut right there.
A lot of pressure. Had to figure this out on the spot because I have no experience with this type of cigar. All right, so we're going with a torch. So those that don't like torches or, non-wooden flame lights, please forgive me. That's what we're going with. Preferred always a match or some cedar spill, but torch is all I got for today.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, hey.
Yeah.
Not talking about the flavor. Not talking about any particular nuances I'm getting off of the cigar. Just off the puff experience. This feels right.
Mm-hmm.
Man, if you like box press and you feel like box press is the most natural or comfortable way to puff your stick, this beats it by 10 times 10.
No surprise, man. I got a nice breeze. My cigar is well lit, but it is not lit all the way through and through.
Man, what we doing?
Breeze.
How many matches we got?
I gotta go 2, but I'm gonna pull this out for insurance.
Cheat code. Cheat code. Hey, look, no, for real though, that cedar spill is a legitimate cheat code, but it's the best cheat code of all time. It gives you those flavors. It gives you that enhancement of your flame, and then you're gonna get some extra flavors off of the fragrances off the cedar itself too.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with it.
And I'm drowning it in fire because I ain't got no matches. I ain't got time to play.
So you gotta get to it. Hey man, there was a lot of fire right on that stick, man.
I had to put it right in the flame. Forgive me.
I'm judging. Me and the rest of the cigar community, we're judging right now. Hey, look,
Y'all should. Y'all should.
You gotta take that one.
Demanded it, man. Look, I couldn't stop production right now, man, and I'm not prepared. So I had to do what I had to do to keep the show rolling. I got to keep this burning throughout the entire show, man, because I'm down to my last match, and I don't want to risk it.
Yeah, and ain't no relights or limited relights. So I'll go with what I got to pair it with. I got some lemonade and some Casa Noble tequila.
Okay.
We sticking with the tequila. I think this bottle was around 40-ish bucks, 30, 35, 40 bucks, somewhere in that range. Mid-level shelf or mid-shelf level.
Yeah.
It's decent. I wouldn't say it's a tequila that you want to necessarily sip on. I'll say it's for shots or for mixing. Matter of fact, no, not even shots. It's a good margarita mix. If you want to put in a margarita, Casa Noble, that's your margarita. That's we talked about it last week, and I was trying to put my finger on it. Now that I got it, it's a margarita tequila. It's not a cheap tequila that you're just gonna throw in. It's not I was gonna say Jose Cuervo, but Jose Cuervo they can step it up every now and then. But they do got some cheap tequila. Let's not get it twisted. And a lot of people throw that cheap Jose Cuervo into their margaritas. It's not that. It's gonna be a good tequila that's quality enough to give yourself a premium margarita. I'd say that because you're not gonna put your Clase Azul in your margaritas. I wouldn't. But if you had to put a tequila, I'm not even gonna put Avion in my margarita. But if I had to find a tequila to put into a margarita that's gonna give me something better than the basic, I say this Casa Nobles.
Okay, I ain't mad at that. It's a good idea. It's a good idea, man, because you about to say it's get drunk tequila, and that's I got time for that at this point in life. Like,
nah.
Hey, man, let's move into the actual show, man.
All right.
So, I have recently come across looking at some old R&B music videos, which led me to an epiphany about myself. Now, I haven't worked it out in my head entirely, so maybe I've misassessed it, but this is my assessment of what I realized looking at those. It gave me nostalgia and took me back to my childhood looking at them old videos. Mm-hmm. It gave me a memory that is so distant now that it made me realize who I really am in my purest form. I learned that I am really a hopeless romantic, bro. And I never realized myself. And I think television in general has hurt not just myself as a millennial, but all of our generation has been affected by television, if I had to guess. And I think we've all coped with it in different ways. So let me break it down even further. You look at the old music videos from back in the day, whether it's R&B songs or whether it's the rap songs that was dedicated to like love rap songs and stuff. Mm-hmm. Look at them videos and I used to be like, man, I want a girl like that. I want to be kicking a girl like that. You looked at the old TV shows and I said, man, I wish my family was like that. You see the Cosby, Winslows, and all these different people, and they got a perfect bond, and your family don't look like that, really. You know what I'm saying? Y'all a lot more dysfunctional than that. And I just think we all wanted this utopian thing that we saw on TV, and then you realize life ain't like that. And I saw these relationships in these music videos. And then you get to the point where you start talking to girls and you go out and talk to girls and you try to be this lover that you see in the videos and you realize they don't like that stuff. And then you get your heart broken and then you become a womanizer and you say, oh, being a jerk and a womanizer works.
It works. This is more effective.
Forever. But you really just wanted to be this lover boy that you saw in the videos and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I think me wanting this utopian perfect world that I saw on TV it affected me where it turned me into this asshole.
Savage.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what I really wanted to be in my purest form was just a nice guy that wanted what I saw on TV because it looked fun and it looked perfect and stuff, man. And I think all of us probably have been affected in somehow by television, because you look at how we try to parent our kids and we try to do stuff different, and we try to chase that little perfect world.
You know what? I 1000% agree. I 1000% can relate. And I don't know if you knew I was gonna go here or like see eye to eye with you on this, but no, I can see it though. I can see it. It makes sense. It makes sense. And I look back and I think about just Black culture. Not just Black culture. I'm not gonna say just Black culture. Well, I would say more so Black culture, because it's what relates more so to me. Because I think at some point, especially from the 70s into the 80s, we decided to shift the way we had an image on things. You think about Good Times in the 70s, you think about Sanford and Son, and that stereotype of Black family struggle to this and that, living in the junkyard type of deal. And we wanted to step away from that, in a sense. So what happened is we started to create these ideas of what we wanted our families to look like, feel like, dream like. Music changed a little bit too. We started dreaming a little bit more, and then we started selling dreams. We started selling dreams through media, through TV, instead of media being a reflection of reality. And we still had a great deal into the 90s, of course. But I think in the 70s and whatnot, it was more of, let me just talk about what's going on.
What's happening now?
It was what's happening now. You know what I'm saying? And then we grew up in the Cosby Show era. We grew up in the hopeless romantic, you know what I'm saying? Gerald Levert and Keith Sweat and these guys, you know what I'm saying?
As yet.
Nice. we grew up in that hopeless romantic era. We grew up in a dreaming era, which I feel like is some kind of benefit to us, but then also a hindrance to us as well. Because we looked at it as like, well, my life is not. Say what?
It gave us something to aim for and to dream for.
Yeah.
Fantasy. But when you get hit with the reality, it does something. It affects everybody.
Yeah. But it depends on who you are and how you. Because I would say it kind of gave me, like, looking at the Cosby Show and whatnot, it gave me drive to say, I kind of want that lifestyle. I want my house to look like that. I want that. And eventually throughout life, I've continued to aim to try to shoot towards a certain particular thing. Now, did I have it early on along the way? No. And, you know what I'm saying, dealt with a lot of disappointment. Like, man, this is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I ain't living like this. You know what show that I used to want my life to be like? Don't laugh at me. I don't know if you even remember this show. But you remember Alfie? From My Brother and Me?
Yeah, I remember them, man. They had the great.
I wanted to be him. I was living in Japan. We were moving to North Carolina. I found out we were moving to North Carolina, and the show was based in North Carolina. I was like, man, I'm gonna have a house like that. I'm gonna get to a school. We're gonna play basketball like Alfie. We're gonna do this. I'm gonna have Alfie's lifestyle. I wanted.
Years though, bro.
My brother and me was you see they room, they got a little computer in there, they got all this room, like, yo, yeah, this is dope. This is what I want my life to be like. So, like, my brother, like, when you mentioned that, like, I went straight back to, dang, I remember I was like 12. My brother and me was on the air. I wanted that life. I'm about to move to North Carolina in a year or two. Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want. I want a house like that. I want my life to be like that. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? Things haven't necessarily changed even so much now. It's just not that type of media. It's not TV. It's Instagram. It's TikTok now. But I think it's just been the progression of it. But yeah, but now we definitely have been tainted by media, by TV shows, selling a dream, music, the way they were singing to, you know what I'm saying? That's how I got most of my game. That's how I learned how to talk to females. That's how I figured out what to say growing up. When I was 12 years old, listening to 112 and songs like, you know what I'm saying, whatever, like R. Kelly, and even like just emulating some of the things that they were saying in some of the songs. Sometimes we just play a song to our girlfriend to say, "Hey, look, this is how I feel." You ain't have to say a word.
You let them talk for you. The music, you know what I'm saying? You could record it on the tape, play it back for her on the phone. Hey, listen, man, you had a song in the background, so she knew what vibe it was on. You was on. What time?
You don't even say nothing. Don't even gotta say nothing. Let the song talk for you.
Yeah, I think all hopeless romantics and stuff, man. You life shows you that's not that ain't real.
Right, hold on. The world's a little bit more cruel than the picture that was painted for me.
Yeah, man. You realize, you know, a TV. They have a problem in the family. They fix it in 30 minutes, man. They back to being a family. Everybody happy again. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You right? Hey, yeah, they fix it in 30 minutes.
In our house,
plus commercials.
We still mad with our family to this day, like over stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody still got issues in their family we ain't resolved yet. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You see Eddie Winslow and Carl Winslow hugging it out?
Man, we ain't never hug in my household. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
why my daddy don't hug me? Why my daddy ain't?
We ain't hugging and stuff, man. You know, like, you know, you look at it, but it gives you something to aim for. But, you know, it all, the disappointment of it all ends
disappointment does
differently, man. Like, think about us as millennials. Outside of just TV, the disappointment we have. Everybody tells you, hey, man, you know, when we were coming up, it was, hey, work hard, go to school, get your degree. You're going to be on top of the world, man. You're going to rule it, man. You're going to buy you a house. You're going to get the car, the kids. And then all of us had this dream. None of our parents, most of our parents didn't have a degree when they were telling you to do that. They just were saying, hey, what I did didn't work. You need to try this. This is the path. You get in school, and then by the time all of us graduate and get into the real world, it's like degrees don't even mean what it used to mean no more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then you just bad off as everybody without one. Like, and that's the disappointment of everything we thought was real.
You feel like I've been lied to. Been lied to. You know, I just had the thought of continuing my higher education maybe 2 months ago, 3 months ago. You know, I went 07 to now, 16 years of resentment from my college experience. Yeah. I'm never going back to school, man. People ain't never getting my money again. I've been lied to. I've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray. But that's real though. Like when you get into reality and you see reality for what it's worth, and it's like the ideas that you are given as you're coming up, it's like it's not matching up, and it leaves a bitter taste in your mouth for a long time.
But bro, I think it's only our generation that dealt with this though. If you think about it, the boomers didn't have this. The reality was whatever.
Because there was no expectation. Yeah, reality was reality. Like you said, what's happening now? What's going on? Like it's about the now and pushing, trying to push. Okay, it's more awareness of the situation that you're dealing with. All right, how are we going to push past it? Are we going to push past it? Or are we just going to be like, hey, we're dealing with our situation? But, you know, you said our generation, we dealt with the dreaming. Now, I mean, like, I'm not going to sit here and act like the dreaming.
Like that. Like, because they're what, the 70s, you know what I'm saying? We're the 80s as millennials, you know what I'm saying? Up to the 90s. Gen X was like, just starting to be on the beginning end, so they might slightly relate to this, but even then, they weren't sold the dream as much as we were sold.
We were, yeah. Because the whole college thing.
By the time that stuff came, when we were dreaming, you know what I'm saying? They was already young adults, so like they was in the life already. They were buying houses or capable of buying houses for affordable prices. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't have to deal with the dream. It's millennials who were sold this dream, and then by the time we were all ready to buy houses and do all this stuff, everything's going through the roof. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we did not only as millennials. First of all, when we became adults, we had to deal with the recession, like in our early adult life. You know what I'm saying? Like that hit us right off the bat. Then after they cleaned that up and we got able to get through it a little bit, then the world
still trying to recover though.
And it got weird. The world got different. Like we were like, oh man, everything different. You know what I'm saying? The technology. We didn't get a moment to catch a break. And now you come into 2020 and now we got another recession that they're not calling a recession, but it is. And the house and everything's going up. The cost of everything, inflation, Like we ain't. Now I know this new generation, Gen Z, ain't really got a break, but they grew up in a world where this is the world. What they live in now, this is all they ever know. So they don't know nothing else. You know what I'm saying?
We mentioned this before. I believe like our generation, we probably dealt with the most shift and change.
Most transition.
We've probably seen the most. Yeah. We've probably had to deal with in real time, not being established or as established as we would like more than any other generation. You know what I'm saying? Like you talking about when things started to shift, if you were older, you were already kind of settled and set in your ways. You already, you had your house, you had your career, you about to, you know what I'm saying, you're doing your 25, 30 years, about to retire and stuff like that. Like you're already settled in and you're sitting back watching all this stuff change. And when those who are younger, they're coming up into the change. So they're being shaped by the change. We're sitting here getting a barrage with all these changes. Like, oh, I just made it to this stage, and now y'all shifting and changing the playing field on me. And now this is coming in, and this is a new factor. Where those who don't have any responsibility, they're growing up watching all this stuff. Like, oh, okay, I can see it from the back. And those who already passed it, they're seeing it from this other side. They're seeing it from another point of view, up higher, looking down. They're seeing it from the bottom, looking up. And we're just in the middle of the whirlwind, trying to figure it out.
The feet balance, like in the middle.
Like, hold on, what's this technology? Hold on, I gotta do. Wait, hold on. You're changing things too quick on me. I just gotta hang it in. So wait, hold on, this is changing. Yeah. We had to deal with the changes in the real time. Like those who were 81, 82 to 90 maybe, 89, 90. We've had to see the changes and deal with it in the middle of it all.
Yeah, think about how the workforce has changed in just our lifetime, right? In our lifetime, when we first started getting into the workforce, the thing was find you a job, go long term with them. Having a job for a long time looks good on your resume, and should also give a 2-week notice if you are going to switch jobs.
That's not a thing no more.
2-week notice no more. If you're sick, you call in sick and you don't go to work. We would go to work with hangovers and stuff like that because we didn't even think calling in was an option. You just work through it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
you ain't calling me off. I ain't calling out.
They ain't doing none of that now.
I'm gonna turn down on this trip to Miami to work at this Family Dollar for $6.15 an hour.
Yeah, you do ridiculous stuff like that. Like, and now you're at a point in the world where, hey man, you supposed to job hop. That's the game. The jobs expect you to job hop. You look bad if you've been with a job too long. Like everything. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I never thought about it like that, but that is true. I think in today's day and age, if you've been with a job for 6, 7, what you don't have any diversification, you have no ability to shift and adapt. But you're too comfortable. You're not comfortable with being uncomfortable. Like you didn't want to change. Like you didn't want to do anything different. Why are you with that job for 10 years? Yeah. But we were taught that's what you do. You get you a job. You find something stable, you collect your paychecks, you pay your bills, take care of your family.
Yeah, and you have your loyalty to one another. The company's loyal to you, and you're loyal to the company. And now that's all of that's frowned upon. But those are all values from
which begs the question. Are people working towards retirement nowadays? Now, like with the new generation, is their goal to work with a company for retirement? Because you look at our parents and parents beyond, grandparents, it's like they're say what?
They don't even think retirement is going to be a thing when they retire, so they're not aiming for it.
That's wild. Like I feel like I should know this, but even to me, that's still a foreign concept to think that a youngster coming into the workforce is not looking to get with a job with the mindset of or at least get in the avenue. Okay, this is a stepping stone for this, a stepping stone for that to get here, so I can get to this career field, career path, and retire out in 25, 30 years.
Bro, they don't even know if Social Security gonna be around in 20 years. They're not even looking at it from that point of view, you know. And even then, what you gonna do? You gonna retire getting your percent of your $80,000 a year, and then the world costs $200,000 to live in? You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this. Might be a little bit. I don't know if this is on topic, a little off topic, on topic off. When you were coming up, let's say 18 to 22. What was your goal of how much money you wanted to make per year so you can feel like you were comfortable to take care of you and your family? What was your dollar amount?
I wasn't thinking about a family, you know what I'm saying? But
okay, early mid-20s maybe when you were coming into thinking about it. I'll even move it up a little bit.
Just what you said mid-20s?
Yeah, let's say mid-20s.
Mid-20s, man, I was looking to just get to that $50,000 threshold. Yeah. So mine's a little bit lower, but I started my thought process. I was around 20, 21. I wanted to make 40,000, 40 to 45. I was like, man, if I can make $40,000 a year, I'm good. But around 25, I did want a little bit more. 50, 55 was my goal around 25, 26 years old, up to a little bit. But, you know what I'm saying, early 20s, late teens, $40,000 a year was my goal. Like, man, if I can make $40,000, I'm set. But you know why that was your goal? Because 30 was considered doing good for yourself back then.
Mm-hmm.
So if you hit 40, you was just a little better than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like,
my thought about my lifestyle with making $40,000 was unreal. I thought I would have it made like 40,000. I'm killing the game.
At the time it was your goal, it wouldn't have been unreal, because that would have been a good price when gas was $1.25 and rent was $300, $400. You know what I'm saying? Like a month.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it would have been a good number. Them times didn't last. You know what I'm saying?
Now I'm gonna say this. So I was around 32. I shifted my goal. And my goal was about 70, 75. And I said, if I can make 80, can't nobody tell me nothing. Fast forward about 6, 7 years.
That ain't nothing, is it?
I mean, you gonna live, but it's all you about to do. You gonna pay that house note, you gonna pay that car note, you gonna get them groceries, and you gonna go about your business.
Yep. That's it, man. But I don't know, man. That's my confession, man. I realize that I am a dreamer, a person chasing fantasies. I'm a person who really just want to be a hopeless romantic.
And it's been embedded in you. It's been embedded in you. And all because of the media culture that was given to us at our time. I mean, you can go on and on and on. Think about Saved by the Bell. When you thought when you got to high school, how high school was going to be. Boy Meets World, and I can rattle up all these shows, man.
Man, you know, I wanted to go to college like Hillman's. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to go like Hillman.
Different world.
Well, not Spellman, Hillman. Yeah, I wanted to.
It was like Hillman in the show. Yeah.
Yeah, like, you know, I all these.
And honestly, like, I wanted to be a doctor. That might have come from me watching the Cosby Show. Like, I don't know if that's for sure, but it probably came from me watching the Cosby Show, to be real with you.
It makes sense if you think about it now. You know what I'm saying? It make a lot of sense, because you saw Bill be a doctor, and you saw how good his life was, and you wanted them big sandwiches like Bill when he came home.
Yeah.
Be that doctor like Bill.
Yeah, he had his wife, he had his kids, he had them big sandwiches and a good career.
Great family. Life was good. You know what I'm saying? Not saying life is bad. I'm satisfied with my life and the way it went. I figured it out. But
figured it out. But that's what that honestly, before we move on the subject, that takes me back to what I said. Like, it could be a benefit to you or a hindrance depending on how you respond to the disappointment. because I'm pretty sure you and I both got disappointed with how like, no, this ain't what I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah,
Whoa. But some people fall victim to that and become some people don't bounce back from that traumatic experience of realizing that, hey, life ain't what I thought it was dreamt up to be.
Right.
They're long-term affected by it and never recover. We've recovered. Yeah, we've been through our tough times. You and me both, but we figured it out.
Both into stronger people because we said, hey man, I ain't about to give up. All right, that ain't what I thought, but I just can't quit. What's next?
Yeah.
You know, and you have to show some resilience.
Because I still wanted to make it what I thought it was going to be. I still wanted to make it that.
That's the crazy thing. I don't know if we stupid or if we just got a lot of heart. Because I don't think I ever gave up, and I don't think you ever gave up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gotta be possible. It's gotta be possible.
Okay, I don't care how many times I get smacked down. Like, nah, man. I saw it on TV in 1989. No, you are not gonna tell me. You know what I'm saying? The Easter Bunny is real, and I don't care.
Yeah. That's basically what it comes down to. It's gotta be. Bill did it. I can do it. No, going it. Shoot.
Doggone it. Bill did it.
Yeah, where that landed Bill. But anyway, man, we're going to move on, and we ain't going to do no – yeah, I said it. We're going to move on. Let's skip the midway review because we almost at the end anyway.
Yeah, we almost at the end.
I'm going to jump into something totally different here, man. I saw something on Puffy P. Diddy, Sean Combs, whatever you know him by, has recently given back some of his bad boy artists they publishing.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, a lot of his big artists had already got their publishing back. So now these are the B and C class artists are starting to finally get their publishing because all his top tier artists got theirs back through other forms of recourse to get it back. You know, I don't think it was smooth for none of those guys getting theirs back. It was a war, but they got theirs back. So now, after they got theirs, Puffy has decided I'm going to relinquish the publishing to all the smaller artists. And it's been released in a form where it's kind of like to be celebrated. Like, look at this kind act. Maybe it'll move the music industry in a better direction if more people take lead on this. Me, when I heard the news and I found out that it was just those lower level artists getting theirs back, it made me wonder about it. I'm like, well, how is he really doing them a favor? You know what I'm saying? All these bad boy records ain't really had no they have not been, love you Puff, but your label ain't been relevant and since really early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? As far as in the music industry as a label. Yeah. You as an individual and your brand, but your label, ain't nobody been raving to get signed by Bad Boy. Bad Boy ain't been putting out no hits since early 2000s. So
since the band.
Yeah, and even they didn't go far. You know what I'm saying? I think the girl group went slightly further, but you know, they ain't go far.
Was it Diddy Kane?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. So let's say that's the end of Bad Boy as far as being a big player. 2004, 2005 when the band and Danny Kane and all them were going on. So we're 18 to 20 years removed from the peak of your career, and you're giving these guys a publishing back. What money is to be made from these records is the point that I'm going to. You're giving them back, and I'm sure these guys publishing ain't making no money at this point in time. Is it really an act of kindness to give them publishing back at this point? Or is it just giving them something that's going to make them $100 a year anyway? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you know what? I mean, I say yes, it is still an act of kindness because you think about all these artists who probably won't do much of anything with their songs and their art that they created years back in the 90s. Think about all the artists in the 90s who probably won't ever see their publishing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So there's still a practice in the record label that, you know what I'm saying? No, it's owned by the record label, owned by the record company. It's mine. I don't care if you're nonchalant from 1995, 1996, 5 o'clock in the morning. You know the song.
Yeah.
She ain't going to see that publishing. You know what I'm saying? But when's the next time that song's going to be used? You never know. But at the same time, a lot of these songs, as we watching them come back, you might see them in ads and things like that, which is a real cool thing. You know, they might still have an opportunity. You know, for him to give them back their publishing is still something, because all the practices from the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s of artists who didn't really become huge or big, that'll never see that publishing ever in life. So he's still doing something outside the norm. Yeah. And the nostalgia from these songs as they might start coming back, you know, especially those guys in the later 2000s, early 2000s. And as time goes back and they'll become more nostalgic songs, and the reuse of them or the re-release of them, it might be something. You know, it's not the most grand form of giving back, but it's something. I still applaud it.
So that's an optimistic point of view, you know, and maybe I can only see the pessimistic point of view in this, because I look at it from the point of view of Puffy's been quiet lately. Been very quiet lately. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He ain't been on the radar with much of nothing. I don't think he's involved with DeLeon no more. I don't think he's involved with a lot of his brands. Like when we talk about
Ciroc, though,
you know, who cares? But so when we talk about those CEOs that are really top-notch guys and doing stuff, 50's still active. Mm-hmm. Dre still gets his respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get your Jay-Z's, he's still held in high accord. We talked about Jay-Z and Nas is like these guys when it comes to business, and we just went back and forth on them. Puffy never comes up in these talks with, about us anymore. I'm just not hearing his name.
I think he should. I think he should, though. I think he should.
Maybe he's not hot right now, and that's how you get your name back out there, by doing something.
You know what?
And it pushes a narrative, which we always talk about how these New York dudes like Jay-Z is great at doing, pushing a narrative, making your brand look a particular way.
All right,
and I don't know. It could be an empty act, is what I'm saying. Maybe it's something good because it could lead to setting a new precedence, but at the same time.
Well, see, okay, so check this out, though.
Squeeze the life out of these records and say, hey, buddy, you know,
here you go. You can have it back. you can have what's left of it.
If the industry works out in your favor, you can make some money off of it. Yeah, here goes some crumbs. And maybe the industry will work in your favor now that it's an oldie, and you can make a few dollars off of it down the line, you know.
But here's the thing. Like, I think, and this is where I got to get a kudos to Diddy, is the fact that he didn't have to. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, yeah, your label might not be as hot as it once was, but you still got the money. You still rich as ever. You know what I'm saying? You're, as far as I know, you're not going backwards. So, like, there's no reason to give it. I mean, to not get. Well, okay, there's no real reason other than to become relevant. But you, like you said, New York guy. This is what they do in order to get. You know what I'm saying? Because they crave that ability to, like you said, control their narrative and how they're looked in the public light. Mm-hmm. Outside of that, I can't say small factor. It's a huge factor. Okay, it's a huge factor. But outside of that factor, outside of that one factor, we'll say that, outside of that one factor, there's no reason. There's no reason.
What holds more weight? Some good publicity while you ain't hot, or $100 a year from these records? You know what I'm saying?
That publicity. That publicity gonna go a long way, especially when you're at that level, because you have the ability to jump into different avenues. And as long as your name's in the limelight for some reason, or in the news for some reason, you can always go sell a product. You can always market yourself in some kind of way to generate revenue. So you're right about that. So he does stand to make more money off the publicity of giving back publishing to artists who might not make as much money in publishing. So his name being in the spotlight might garnish him more money, more revenue than what that publishing. So, okay. I just made your point.
We just watched this whole. We're watching right now ongoing this strike amongst the actors because they not getting enough money in their residuals, and they're showing their residual checks, and it's $13 a quarter is what they making off these movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What do you think Puffy's artists are making off their contracts from the 90s on residuals for songs that don't get played no more?
Nothing. Because I mean, between you and me, we know how much money you get off of streams, and it ain't much.
Yes, it ain't much. So with that being said, you know, them records ain't making him no money no more. That's chump change for a guy like him. You know what I'm saying? Why am I going? Let's say all of them together makes him $20,000 a year. Yeah. What do you care about 20 G's? You know what I'm saying? Let's say they all make $100,000. Probably don't. But that does benefit the artist. But so like back to my point, that does benefit the artist. So kudos, because guess what? Hey, look, I don't need your 20,000. I can take this attention and make this into $500,000. It's a good business move, but it's a business move that also benefits those artists. So it is still a benefit to those artists, regardless of whether it does benefit him in the grand scheme. Yes, it might benefit him more, but is it still a benefit to the artist? Is it still a benefit? It is. Man, them artists don't care about that G a year. Let's say all 10 of them get a G a year off of that, man. You know.
But is it more than what they would have made? I mean, like let me think of an artist.
Man. You know what I'm saying? That ain't
who wasn't big. Give me an artist from Bad Boy that wasn't much of anything. I can't think of any artist right now. I mean, outside of what, because all artists I'm thinking of right now were pretty decent artists. But like somebody, okay, let's just say Total. Let's say Total. Did he ever get their published? Is Total considered one of that group of people who got their publishing back from him?
I don't know.
Or are we talking about a Day 26 or something like that?
Probably Day 26. That's who we probably talking about. I'm sure they're in that B League that didn't get theirs back.
If we're talking about a Day 26, who he has their publishing, he's giving back their publishing. Do they stand to benefit from that? In the short term? Yeah. In the long term, yeah. More than what Diddy would benefit from, like, that little $20,000 that they might get as a group and have to split it 4 ways or 5 ways. How many members in the group?
I ain't even talking about as a group, bro. I'm talking about the whole label is what they come in together. Not 20 G's as a total. I'm talking about 20 G's amongst all the artists that's finally getting their publishing back. Like,
yeah, but you can still do something with that. And I would. This is the part where I don't like how people treat Diddy. Like, okay, he might have had some bad contracts, a lot of bad contracts, but he still gave a Day 26 the ability to go and to blaze your trail. Now, if you don't take your stage and set up a huge platform based off your stage, especially in this day and age, that means more than, okay, what it might have meant in the early 2000s, because you were still limited on what you can do. But now, you can go carve your own lane. So they still benefit for it. So, like, if they get their publishing back, they repurpose these songs, go get your grind on in. Try to get your songs marketed in some kind of way, in some kind of usage for whatever project, movie, or whatever, and get the residual from it. Now you have the ability to say, okay, Diddy himself, I'm not going to take a Day 26 song and try to get it on this movie. I don't really care about the song. But Day 26, now you can take ownership of that song and say, okay, now we can move this music the way we want to move it and try to do something with it. Now the grind's on you. Yeah, all the stuff would have made Bad Boy $20,000 and Day 26 themselves maybe $4,000 or $5,000. But now they have the ability to take that song and say, okay, it would have just made $5,000 just sitting in the vault or whatever, nobody really pushing or doing anything with it. Now I can go do something with it. Now I have the ownership to go and market it the way I need to market it. So now the grind's on you. I gave you the platform 15 years ago. What did you do with your platform?
I agree with you.
So I still say kudos to Diddy for that. Now the grind's on you.
Right.
I wish I had that opportunity to have that platform, that stage.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't do nothing with my song. Nobody want to hear my songs.
That's true. But at the same time, that doesn't. One thing being true doesn't make something else.
Not true. Yeah, you're right.
point still stands. I think it's something that looks better, but it is an empty act. You know what I'm saying?
It's
I think
empty.
it's an empty act that looks good. Because I think it's one of them things you could have did it when it would have mattered, when it was making some money.
Yeah. It would have meant more. It would have meant more 20 years ago. It would have meant more 15 years ago. Yes, the impact is less now, but it's still something that can be applauded, because I'm pretty sure you got a Clive Davis or somebody who ain't giving up nobody's publishing for whatever small song. What's the name? Monifa. Throwing out an artist who's like medium big and back in the day, whose song's probably not going to get any play down the line. Somebody owns Monifa's, it's probably Diddy, honestly, publishing, and they ain't going to get it back.
Yeah.
So it's still outside the average or what the norm is. It's still outside the norm.
It is.
So you got it.
And at the end of the day, I'll never know Puffy's intent. I'll never know where his heart is with the situation. So I'm making the argument. I got my gut feeling about it, but I'll end it on this note that he, regardless of what his intentions are, because I won't know it, I have to assume that it's the best. And anyway, it is setting a nice precedence for the game moving forward. Hopefully somebody.
Hopefully the game will be different going forward. True.
Yeah.
True.
And do it sooner. And somebody will do it sooner. And maybe it'll get to the point where, they hold your publishing for 10 years and then they automatically release it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the contracts will come that way. You know what I'm saying? And in fairness to labels, they invest a lot. They should be able to hold your publishing. If that's what's agreed upon, your publishing to go to them, then they should be able to have it for long enough to get their money back and then release it to you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever's negotiated, but that's my stance on it. So I'll leave it at that. Puffy, good job, man. I questioned everything about it, but good job ultimately.
Overall.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's get into
the reviews. All right, let's do it. I'm going to go first because I'm more interested in yours than mine, to be honest with you. And that's not saying that my cigar is a bad stick. I want y'all to get that impression. I'm just more interested in this Monte Cristo Plasencia collaboration. So my Casa Magna, the Magnus 2 Limitada, with the interesting, unique shape. I'm gonna go into the shape first before I get into everything else about the cigar. So the shape of the cigar, hands down, right now is now my favorite way to puff a stick. I need every cigar brand, every cigar line, anybody who rolls a cigar, figure out how to do this for at least one of your sticks. I don't care what. Just do at least one. Plasencia, give me one. Cohiba, give me one. Rocky, come on, Rocky. Give me one. It can be the Edge. Do it like this. The Decade. Give me one like this. I need at least one from every cigar line across the board, because this is a beautiful way to puff a stick. I thoroughly, probably more than the cigar itself, enjoy puffing my cigar like this. This was pleasurable. This was dope. I enjoyed it. So comfortable to hold, so comfortable to puff. It fits the mouth perfectly. Pause. But it's just a nice, comfortable way to puff a cigar. Very casual. Like, especially if I'm in super relaxation mode, super chill mode, and I pick up this stick and I'm feeling chill. So I need everybody to give me
to the next level.
Takes the press to the next level. So whatever you felt about a box press is just that much better. I've heard even some people say, or Plasencia say, the octagon shape was supposed to be the more natural way to fit the mouth. No. Completely disagree. You know how much I love Plasencia. This is it. This is it. Outside of that, the smoke itself was nice. It was real chill. It was supposed to have some spice. I got the spice Not in the very beginning, which is where you usually get most of your pepper and most of your spice. I didn't get that until about the second third. Throughout the whole first third, nothing. Just smoothness, a lot of cocoa, earthiness, some hazelnut. I would say a little bit of hazelnut in the very beginning. So it has some sweet flavors that kind of just rode it even kill, nice smooth smoke. But then after that, then we got to that second third, we started getting a little bit of spice. A little bit of spice got introduced, a little bit of pepper got introduced. But I kind of like that pepper being introduced after the palate was already warmed up. So that's something that also you can take from Casa Magna as far as how they did that. Introducing spice in the second third is something I'm not used to. You usually get that in the very beginning or you'll get that at the very end. But somewhere in the middle, okay, after my palate's already nice, warmed up and going, and then you start throwing a little bit of hints of spice. Actually, I like that. I kind of like that. It's kind of like eating some chicken and waffles and throwing some hot sauce on it and having some sweet and spicy on it. So, well done. So to rate the cigar overall, man, I want to put it in the 4s, but the cigar itself, I'm gonna have to give it in. I'm gonna have to put it in the 3s because it's not a 4. It's not a 4 for me. Now the shape of the cigar makes it a 4 in my mind. I'm gonna say a 3.7. 3.7 for the smoke overall. The overall experience, I'm gonna say 4.0 for the overall experience. But if you're just going off the taste of the cigar and how the cigar feels when on the palate, 3.7 on the palate, 4.0 overall just for the total experience.
I dig it. Okay, so for me in this Monte Cristo Espada signature. All right, so I know you're looking forward to what I have to say. I don't have a lot to say about it, man. Started out on the initial, when I actually lit it up, it started out giving me, kind of put me in the mind of like one of the Olivas right off the bat when I first lit it up. Okay. And I'm like, okay, I was looking forward to seeing where it was going. In the beginning, very early on, picked up on mainly just earthy, woody type notes and whatnot. That was pretty much it. That was in the first third. Then when we got started to move into the second third, which I haven't got deep into the second third, but I'm just getting into the second third. It kind of continued to be more that earthy feel. Was a little bit of creaminess to it. I'd say a medium body smoke, and I picked up on a good amount of spice, but really mainly on the retro hell. So my spice came in on the second third for me also, like you said. Mm-hmm. I didn't really notice it on the first third too much. But it was more like a peppery type spice, you know what I mean, for me. Mm-hmm. And it was very noticeable on the retro hell. Not so much during the actual smoke of it. And I don't know if this is me, just because last week I dealt with so many changes throughout my cigar, where this time I didn't have quite as much developing within it. So it just wasn't jumping out as me much. Very enjoyable cigar because you're dealing with Monte Cristo and Plasencia. They're the highest level. But it just didn't have very much, it didn't change much for me, man. It kind of stayed the same, which hurt me. I enjoyed, it didn't hurt me. It hurt what I would be willing to rate the cigar, you know. And now, of course, if we go into the final third or deeper into the second third, it may transition a little bit more. But as of now, I just didn't quite get the changes that I would have liked to got, but I did enjoy what it was because, of course, it's done at the highest level when it's going to do what it does. It will reach the 4 mark, but it only reaches a 4. I give it a 4 even on a scale 1 to 5. Just didn't change enough for me, man. It was really good at what it did, but I didn't get enough out of it, man. You know, I went further beyond a 4. Just even 4 for me.
I wanted to hear a more dynamic stick experience. Let me ask you this question before we go. Do you think it was Plasencia in the way they handle their cigars and how they just keep it even kill, but then just not enough to give you that top notch even kill? that battle of both. Kept pulling it back down.
Of the even kill. It did have the element of even kill now that you mention it. And it was very smooth. But it's Monte Cristo and Plasencia. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't expect nothing else from it. Maybe the fact that Plasencia is so even kill, maybe that hurt it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because it didn't have enough nuances to it anyway. So if you're gonna even kill it, like, you know what I'm saying, you gotta
even kill it at the highest level. You gotta just keep even kill it up here.
Yeah, like you gotta have a lot going on and then even kill it. Don't just even kill like 2 or 3 little elements. You know what I'm saying? And then it's just like, all right, this is it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all did good, but you know, I'm waiting for something new to hit my palate. I really wanted something new to hit my palate, and I couldn't pick up on it. I was trying. I kept retrohelling at different points, like, all right, I'm going to get something new here. Maybe I got to do this. I'm trying to pick up on something new. You know, you pick up on more during your retrohell than you do just normal. Mm-hmm. Couldn't get nothing extra, man, except for when the spice kicked up, and I'm like, okay, the spice just hit extra hard out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? But that was it, man.
Dang. And it's like, it is twisted. A 4 is still... That's still solid.
It's a good cigar.
That's still solid. That's still solid. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the, once you reach the 4 realm, you are a top-notch cigar. But when you put those 2 names in a collaboration, you expect the world of it.
Expect a little bit more, yeah. And I feel you on that.
And maybe that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? I hear those 2 names and I'm like, I want the world. If the guy would have never told me, he'd have been like, yeah, man, yeah, good Monte Cristo, good choice. Maybe I would have came in here and been like 4.2, like, you know, but so it could be an element of, we talked about disappointment a lot in this episode. Maybe the disappointment is why it's only a 4 even.
You were sold a dream.
I was sold a dream, man. You know, 2 of my current favorite brands to hear about, you know what I'm saying? And they partnered.
You know what that's like? Man, I'm sorry, because I don't want this to keep going and kill this time. You know what that reminds me of? You remember the first time you heard Jay-Z and Nas on the song together? Jay-Z and Nas got a track together. And you were disappointed? I know I was disappointed.
In like, Black Republican.
Black Republican. I thought I was going to get more. I thought it was going to be like the biggest record ever. Like, yo, this is Jay-Z and Nas finally on a track, and it was just...
It was good.
It was good.
It was good. Yeah, solid.
You just smoked a Black Republican.
I smoked a Black Republican. That's what I smoked. I did. And truth be told, you know, when Weezy and Jewels got on Black Republican, it was just as good. It was just as good. Like.
It's like that collaboration that you've been waiting for, and then it's just, that was a good song. Okay.
Yeah, good.
You see your 2 favorite actors in a movie together. It's just okay movie.
Yeah, you know, you like, okay,
it's a good movie.
It's a good movie, man. I had Denzel and Robert De Niro together. You thought it was gonna be the greatest acting you ever seen in your life. It was good. You know what I'm saying? But
oh man, hey, look, but we gotta try the other ones though. We gotta try the other Monte Cristo Plasencia brands together and see. Maybe we started at the bottom end, and maybe they just upped it a little bit more after that. We never know.
No, we're going to do some research. We're going to make an episode out of it, man. You get one, I get the other, and then we're going to make it happen.
Okay.
You know? But
let's do it.
We go in and wing it. You know, everything about this show is winged. So, I mean, we freak out.
We've only had a couple of episodes that we came in playing, knowing we were smoking, knowing exactly what our approach to it was. So it's going to be one of those ones that we're going to actually plan for. We got to have a few of those coming up in the future, for sure.
Yeah, I expect more, man, because like you said, man, we just had Nas and Jay-Z collaborate on a cigar right now. You know what I'm saying? So one of these 3 songs is going to be a hit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I need a classic. I would smoke this again, though. We talking from a disappointed point of view. I would smoke this again. If I go to a cigar lounge and you got to go into their limited humidor and I see that, I'm getting it.
Yeah. Let's not get it twisted. We getting nitpicky. Because we've smoked some great sticks, and we have to rate it against some of the worst, and then also some of the best that we've ever smoked. We smoked a lot of cigars, so
and we hold
we got to get nitpicky.
So at at that level when it comes to the brands. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so we get nitpicky, but it's all right because that's what we're here for.
Yeah, man. Hey, anyway, y'all, we appreciate y'all for tuning in this week's episode of the Cigars and Everything Else podcast. We'll get with y'all next episode. Yeah.
Cigars up.